Pusha Pasha. I am an active change driver. Today we're invited to come here, and what I've learned here, I'm taking back to my community. I will be conducting small workshops and giving peer education.
Alright, I'm from an organization called Activate Change Drivers. If you do not know the organization, the red t-shirts have can you tell me what is bringing all of us here from the different provinces?
AIDS conference.
It's AIDS conference, which means it's one thing that brings us together is HIV and AIDS. Right? HIV and AIDS is the only thing that basically brings the thousands of people who are going to be here. So like SARS conference, right? We are told that South Africa is a HIV and AIDS fatigued nation. Why is that? Ngoba every single day, I'll pay anything about HIV. Do you know what is the statistics around South Africa? What is the percentage we're sitting at as a country, South Africa? What is the rate?
2,900
a week.
A week, yes.
That is a lot of people. So my question is that context to HIV and AIDS. They do, right? So, but why are we keep on having the same infection rates that is increasing day after day?
The reason why a lot of young people, like we said, new infections,
yes. Why do we have so many new
infections? Is because sex as a topic alone is not being dealt with. There's not enough sex education that's happening. We can't end up behind closed doors, but ended up behind closed doors. Obviously, people are not going to use the right kind of protection tools. Secondly, as well, there's a lot. Right now, if you want about people, there's a lot of urbanization. People are moving from the countryside coming to the cities. There is no parenting in the community. No one is there to parent the kids. Maybe my clinic, but now it's a bit better. If they go to the clinics, there's actually no one that I can actually talk to is going to give them the truth, because man young is going to tell me lies. You know, they get false information from their peers because there's no one who is in place there that is there for them, who will advise them and say, okay. And now I'm reading, no one is there to tell them the truth.
Everybody has mentioned isn't this called like ignorance, but for me it's lack of information, because when we go to the communities, we talk about HIV is a virus. What is HIV? And longer we talk about this fancy English leukemia virus.
There hasn't been a cure that most of us know about. The question that you might see written on our t-shirts as activators saying, what is the alternative?
I think there's a possibility that we will never ever get the cure for HIV and AIDS. Particularly not because we don't have capacity to find the cure.
I think if we take the traditional people with the government, pastors, and we sit together, because of nowadays there's trend that pastors are curing the disease. People are leaving their medication. They believe in the anointing oils, anointing water, and see if can they afford it now.
Okay. So as you asking what's its alternative and effecting, that's why it's already written there. We are that alternative, according to me. We've seen what the issues were. The lack of education, the lack of parenting skills, and a whole lot of things. We know what the issues are. And us as the activators in our different sectors in our communities then can tackle those issues that we've rose today. So as our t-shirt says, we are that alternative. Up to us actually to sit down with these young people. They will listen to us, find out what their issues are, because every region is going to have a different issue. So we can't paint them with the same brush.
Or and above this, if you are a young person and you'd still treat HIV as something that's foreign to you, I think there's a problem. As soon as we start to take HIV as something that affects or infects each and every one of us, thereby working collaboratively to come up with solutions that will help best to beat it, and then we'll have better solutions.
Like, you know what, it's a taboo to speak about disease. So I believe if we can enforce education and teach them about all these prevention tools so that they can use them, I think that is another alternative way that we can use to make sure that we decrease this disease.
So how do we come about to you from Limpopo, work with Ngila KZN, with my women's network that I'm doing here? So how do we collaborate? You understand? So I just want you guys to keep that in mind, but I'll go to Denise.
I think the more we see it as something that is taboo, this disease that's killing our people, the more further away we are pushing it. And if we think about it innovatively, then we need to use a more holistic approach in understanding that it doesn't just affect the person who's infected. It affects their families, it affects the families to come after them, it affects the families that have walked before them, it affects their community. It is a multidimensional concern. My 2-year-old, who is now understand that mom is HIV positive, what does that mean for her? How does she then get educated on the disease? How is she able to live with the disease? And then concerned about the neighbor next door who is saying, hold up, there's a behavior change here. What's happening? So if we want to use innovation in addressing HIV and AIDS, I strongly suggest that we do this holistically and address it as a matter of an entire unit rather than something that is isolated as a disease that's out there.
How do we ensure that we Africanize everything, including the HIV and AIDS? Yeah. Just like this one. It's very innovative. I just spoke and he developed rhymes, actions, he had the program of action. There's something to go with at home. And the training content. That the training content must also focus intensively on this subject, but in a more modern way. It was on Sunday, I spoke about that in analysis we have what we call periodization of events. That to analyze a thing, it goes with period. You cannot analyze a 1960 subject, or you cannot analyze a 2016 subject using a 1960 approach. It will not work. So it goes with saying that we thought that when we speak freely in sex in Africa with old people, it will work. We are Africans, that doesn't work. How do we ensure that we capacitate old people to speak with old people about sexual issues? Very sexual, health-related issues, speaking genuinely with their peers. Instead of Department of Health using old people who are capacitated with information, they use a young person as young as 19 years old because he has a matric but not experience. They said you have a matric and then they will ignore old Magogo who knows about this, who can influence his or her own peers. Innovations comes there, thinking beyond normal way of thinking. So we need to get involved, stop behaving as if we are elites, get pompous, we don't discuss things with our peers there because we think they are not at the level of our thinking. But I think we can't speak English the entire day. We must come with clear program of action on what needs to happen.
On making sure that you are an alternative in your very own space, I will really invite all activators to look at our model in KZN. I know now it's national, but in KZN it's called Operation Sumasake. And it's where you share that I am a coach, I coach under 13 with my soccer team. And this is how I respond on HIV, by making sure that people are away from street, they are not involved in risky behavior, and also before they even go kick the ball, you facilitate peer education in that team. I really invite all activators to participate on the Operation Sumasake in whatever ward we come from, in whatever province we come from, and that is really will assist us from that ground.
My name is Action Setaka. I'm from Free State in Kutlwanong, and I'm here at the HIV and AIDS conference to ensure that we take whatever that we discuss in our respective provinces and in the National Youth Parliament, we advance it to the next stage so that we are relevant to the struggle that is currently happening, where we want an HIV AIDS-free generation.